Joy Olson here, BlockBuster Fundraising. Well, as it's closing in, only really days away to that final week of your fundraising year, you've thought and rethought and gotten everything as perfect as you can get it, right? You want to achieve your goals, surpass your goals. But what if I told you that there's a teensy little digital year-end fundraising tweak that your nonprofit could use to skyrocket your fundraising results? Would you be interested? Of course you'd be interested. So exciting to use something that does skyrocket those online results. Okay, well first, right now, let's take a look. We're going to put up on the screen some typical, really good donation landing pages. They have the call to action, and they've got some compelling text. They've got some great photos, and that big, bold donate button. And they're optimized. Believe me, they're optimized for mobile too, and hopefully yours is. And they also have made sure that no matter what device their donor uses to access this page, those donors are able to complete their gift with no more than 2 clicks. So hopefully that's just exactly how you've got your donation page optimized right now, okay? Well, if you do, you're certainly on your way to getting some nice traction for your year-end campaign. But wait, don't stop there. You can go further because you can significantly boost your results if you add one simple thing. The writers of this blog said they like to think of it as the force. You're going to add the force. It's not a sheer saber, but it's similarly luminous. It's called a light box. Some people call it a splash page because when someone visits your website, it splashes up onto their screen with an important message. It's a form-based box that literally lights up the screen to shine a light on whatever message is your single most important thing at this very important time, year end. And some folks will call this a shadow box, a pop-up, or even hijacking. Per Sumo, an average pop-up converts visitors to buyers at 3.09%. And the best pop-ups convert around 9.28%. So with 100 site visitors a day, that's an extra 92 to 274 conversions per month. Well, divide that by 4. That's still a lot for your last week. And that would be absolutely perfect. So it really enhances your returns. At the end of the calendar year, usually your message, your Lightbox message, will certainly be a donation call to action. And it usually pops up the first time that folks come to you for that particular period for which you've set it up. Perhaps once per day during your last couple of weeks that you're running your year-end campaign. And the best advice from this blog is if your visitor dismisses the pop-up, you don't show it to them again for at least a week. So if they don't like the pop-ups, they won't see it again. Again, you and your peeps might find them annoying, but they work. And they work especially well at times like this for targeted campaigns at the end of the calendar year. Your conversion rate from prospect to donor goes up with a light box because more people will see your call to action. They can't help but notice it because you've put it right in their faces. We've seen one used in these examples is at a food bank, and it increased online donations during that period by almost 30%. So it may or may not work for you, but hey, this is really worth testing, because if you could make that difference 30% in the last week with a pop-up box, you don't want to miss out on that. You'll probably want to disable pop-ups on mobile devices, because not all mobile devices can handle pop-ups. And of course, not all pop-ups can handle mobile devices. But whoever helps you with your landing pages and your IT will certainly be able to help you here. For an easy year-end fundraising tweak, a light box can remind your peeps that have come to your page that, number one, a deadline for the calendar year donations is fast approaching. Number two, the deadline to double your money through your challenge grant is fast approaching. 3, before your donor gets to the light box or anywhere else on your website, they have to begin their journey towards you from somewhere else. So let's look at this donor journey toward your donation page, because that's where you want to get them, to your donation page. So it's really kind of simple. Either your donor was looking for you, or you were looking for them. So if your donor's looking for you, they may have been searching to help with a cause like yours. They've typed into their browser local veterans relief, national cancer research, immigrant rights, or guide dogs, rescue dogs. What about if you've promoted your services? Maybe you've decided through an email campaign or social media posts or even an ad that you placed on Google. Maybe you've done that, good for you, and they clicked on a link that took them to your website. Well, however your prospective donor gets to you, ideally, you take them to the page most likely to help them find out what they're looking for. And right now, year end, they're considering philanthropy. This is what happens at the end of the calendar year. So you definitely want to get them to your donation landing page as quickly as possible. This is a busy time of year. Everyone's busy. They're in a hurry. Help them donate quickly. So here's where a light box can really create donor-friendly efficiency. Because when they arrive on your website, wherever they arrive, the light box pops up and lets them know if they're there to donate, hey, you can do it quickly right here by simply clicking on the link in the light box. And if they're interested in services or something else, they can simply close the box and continue on their donor journey. Isn't that simple? Isn't that efficient? Don't you think that's great? Hey, listen, I have a question for you. Have you ever had trouble trying to make a donation? Have you ever heard any of your donors say they've had trouble? Well, sometimes the donate button is hard to find. And sometimes once you get to the donation landing page, you find that it directs you to a multitude of different pages. Ooh, that's bad. And then it becomes unclear which one you should click on. For example, maybe you've run into situations where they give you options such as different ways to give, an annual campaign, legacy giving, monthly giving, special events, wow, or perhaps memorial giving, or matching gifts. So you click on several, trying to find the form that you seek. And the one that lets you enter in a dollar amount and a credit card. It should be so simple, but by the time you finally find the page that you're looking for, you've had to click 3 or 4 times. That is not our goal. And you get a little annoyed and a little impatient. And sometimes you can even give up. You think, ah. But what if a clear sign directed you to the right place immediately? Perfect. And that's what a light box does. The donor doesn't have to wander all around looking for the right place. Isn't that terrific? The light box, it takes them right away to your donation landing page. That's perfect, and you've branded it, and it matches the campaign, and they know they're in the right place. And you control when, where, and how often the light box appears. So let's take a look at a couple of light box examples. The first two are from the San Francisco Food Bank. So now the San Francisco Food Bank has traditionally used just one from Thanksgiving through the end of the year for calendar year-end giving, and it's always worked well. So here you're going to see they've added one pre-Thanksgiving, and you can see how it splashes all over the regular home page. So that's perfect. And then they have another one for year-end, and this is what they use to inspire end-of-year fiscal giving. Don't you think this is really a great year-end fundraising tweak? And here is one more way that you can use this light box. You can use them immediately following the point of a donation. Don't you think that's great? And this is really great if you want to inspire your donors to make a recurring donation, a monthly gift, something that usually works to upgrade your donor's overall giving commitment. And what's also great about this is the fact that monthly donors are retained at a rate of 80 to 90%. Wow! Compared with an average 46% for one-time donors. So go after those monthly donors. Don't forget to make that just a huge goal year-end. So these so-called upsell light boxes pop up when your donor has completed your online donation form. Now we're going to show you one on the screen right now, and this one is from the Humane Society. And you can see that they've really done a nice job with this. And hey, speaking of using light boxes to promote recurring giving, the amazing folks at Next After ran an experiment on a donation page using a pop-up to prompt one-time donors about to submit their gift to upgrade to a recurring gift. Guess what? It increased recurring giving by 64%. Hey, they didn't stop there. After it worked once, they rolled it out to every donation page on the organization's website. The result? An overall increase in recurring giving of 24%. That's huge. That is really huge. And not only that, they found that it didn't keep any one-time donors from giving. It just increased the percentage of donors giving monthly. That is a great tip. That's a great fundraising tweak for you right there. And you can also use them just as a way to put the idea of donating into someone's mind when they click on a link to read more about a story they saw in your e-newsletter. Okay? Think about that. You don't have to do that year end, but for 2020. Here's one from the ACLU. And it came from a story that someone was reading. They wanted to read more. They clicked on it, and they were taken to this page with a story titled, "More than 500 Children Are Still Separated. Here's what comes next." And then they were quickly greeted with this pop-up light box that you can see right now. This technology isn't as tricky as you might think, all right? So if you have a savvy techie on staff, there are tutorials on how to code light boxes on YouTube. Simply use your browser to search on Lightbox, splash page, or pop-up, and you're going to find a lot of resources, really. I did one a couple of years ago myself, and there are free plugins available as well as other affordable options that you can pay for to create or launch your Lightbox. So, and of course, if you pay, you're going to get a lot more options. You can check out free SumoMe WordPress plugin and affordable opt-in monster. So find more options and really talk to your staff to see if they don't think this is a great idea and worth testing and trying out, at least for one of your year-end emails or one or two of your year-end social media posts. You're going to win, they say, as long as you put your donors first. We know that. And of course, there are ways to minimize donor annoyance too. Begin by making sure that the content of your Lightbox is relevant to what the donor was searching for. Absolutely. And if they came to your website looking to be helpful in furthering your mission, or even just hoping to learn something about your mission, they should respond well to a message that instantly shines a light on the value of your work. In fact, a well-executed Lightbox can even give the would-be donor an anticipatory warm glow. Here's an example from the food bank archives, because in this example they make the donor envision themselves as a hero. In this case, it's a hunger fighting hero, but it could just as easily be any kind of a hero, and whatever the hero type that works for your cause. Chesapeake Bay Foundation simplifies things with just 3 elements. Let's take a look. A beautiful image, 2, a single simple call to action, and 3, a particularly high value result, as the donor can double their impact. This is a great time to find a donor that will double the impact of one of these offers. Consider how often you want folks to encounter your Lightbox. As noted before, you can control when and how often the Lightbox appears. And you wouldn't probably, absolutely, you wouldn't want it to appear more than once per day. And you can have it never appear again after they visited this particular site. And then there's one more thing. If you see that little X up in the right-hand corner, make sure that you include this or a close window option, so folks who want to skip the pop-up message can do so easily. Then they're not going to be annoyed. They're just going to say, the heck with this. So remember that a carefully crafted Lightbox can really create a lot more pleasure than displeasure. So don't be afraid of them. And whatever you do, if you decide to go this extra mile, to tweak your results, to have that extra force be with you on your year-end online fundraising, you just test it a little bit. Test your results. See how you're doing. Try a different message, design, or call to action, because Lightboxes are really just a super opportunity for you to do some testing. Well, as they say, the proof is in the pudding. So if you find that a Lightbox is receiving more gifts, I think that you're going to want to continue Lightboxes and use them in a different way in 2020 for different campaigns. But give it a go. I mean, it's a perfect time to try it out the last week of fundraising. And whenever I got really creative and aggressive like this the last 3 weeks, I was always amazed at the payoff, and so was my boss. I mean, it can really enhance your online results more than you can possibly imagine. So go get them. This is an exciting time of year to be in development, to be a fundraiser, We love being here with you, and we wish you all the very best. I'm Joy Olson. There's more information at joyolsongroup.com, blockbusterfundraising.com, all kinds of videos, free video tips on our YouTube fundraising channel. Catch us on Instagram. We're loving our IGTV channel. Have a great week. Only days left to go, and we know you're going to do a great job. Bye-bye.